Welcome to today's webinar titled How to Become an AASM Volunteer Webinar. I am Jatan Mallet, the Committee Project Manager at the Academy of Sleep Medicine, where I have the privilege of working with extraordinary committed volunteers. Thank you for joining for today's agenda, which will be covering what it means to be a volunteer at the Academy, how to prepare an application walkthrough, and common questions, timeline, and tips. But before we get started, I'd like to remind you that the audio is muted and your video is off. We encourage you to include any questions you may have in the Q&A of the Zoom platform, and you'll have time to address any questions you have posted at the end of about a 20-minute presentation. Also, this webinar is being recorded and will be available on the volunteer page on the website. Now, let's get started. As a professional membership society for the sleep medicine field, the Academy relies on the involvement of members who volunteer their time and expertise to help advance sleep care and enhance sleep health to improve lives. Throughout the year, the AASM offers a variety of opportunities to become involved as a committee or task force member, as course faculty or chair, or in positions of leadership. Annually, the AASM offers the opportunity for members to become involved on a committee, task force, or panel. The annual call for volunteers is the focus of today's presentation. Members will share their stories and how you too can make a valuable contribution to the Academy and help advance the field of sleep medicine by volunteering in one of our available opportunities. The volunteers will share their stories of personal fulfillment, career growth, professional development, social benefits, and tips to a good experience. And we'll start with this first video.
Volunteering at the American Academy of Sleep Medicine has been an amazing experience for me. I have been a volunteer for 14 years, pretty much from the beginning of my career, and I have participated in various committees, task forces, and assemblies, sometimes as a member, sometimes as a co-chair, and sometimes as a chair. But in all the opportunities that I've had to participate as a volunteer, I have met amazing people. I have learned so much from everybody. I have looked up to our leaders in the field, and I have grown. I have grown personally and professionally. I think one of the best benefits of volunteering for the American Academy of Sleep Medicine is that you build long-lasting relationships. You build friendships. You go to the sleep meeting and you get together with everybody, hug everybody, have lunch, have dinner, and you see everyone growing at the same time. You can be a witness of your mentees growing and participating and leading committees. It's an amazing experience. I recommend it to everybody. If you're doubtful, if you do not know, just try it. Join a committee. There are many committees. Choose one that fits your likes, that you like, that you can participate in. Get to know people, talk to people, and engage. And get together in the sleep meeting, and you will tell me few years from now how you have built these long-lasting friendships that are so meaningful for us personally and professionally. Thank you, AASM, for the opportunity to volunteer in various aspects of sleep medicine.
And now let's get started. In preparation, before you apply, we ask that you keep the following in mind as you create supporting documentation to your application, your CV, your volunteer profile, and interest statement. So before you apply, ask yourself these questions. Can you list specific examples to show your contributions to the field, volunteering, and committee mandate and goals? Is your CV or resume up to date? one of the most current experiences. And you must be a member to apply. So is your membership renewed for 2025? And so this is a summary slide of the steps we're going to walk through today. Step one, complete your volunteer profile. Step two, review volunteer opportunities. Step three, complete an application. And then step four, submitting your application. And so we're going to go through in detail to make sure that you have all that you need, your bio, your professional experience up to date, uh, review the opportunities, uh, looking at the application, and then what's involved in submitting that. First, would like to share with you again some testimonials I think will help give you some context and what the experience will be like and how you can help in shaping your own application. Uh, Here is a testimonial from Dr. Spector uh, talking about his experience. My volunteer work has led to invaluable relationships. Through the AASM, I have connected with mentors who have helped shape my career, collaborators who've inspired new projects, and friends who share my passion for sleep medicine. These connections have reinforced the importance of community in our field and have made my experience with the AASM all the more fulfilling. And then from Dr. Hassan. On a more personal level, I think volunteering and then leading a committee has helped me develop leadership skills on how to listen and incorporate opinions that may be divergent from my own, keeping an open mind and listen thoughtfully. We have to learn to be forward thinking and consider a myriad of factors which impacts an organization and to function within those constraints. And so now we're going to do an application walkthrough. And the first tip is you must be logged in on the Engage platform to complete your application, but we're now going to walk through 4 easy steps that will follow. So first, you'll see the volunteer instructions. You will find this again on the engage.aasm.org. There are 3 tabs. You're looking at the volunteer instruction tab. We'll look at the volunteer profile tab and the volunteer opportunities tab. The AASM relies on volunteer efforts on numerous committees and task forces to move forward to the mission of the organization. And want to note here that service on a committee is 1 year appointment with the potential for reappointment for up to 2 additional terms. And service requires participation on monthly conference calls and collaborative involvement on projects to meet the committee mandate and goals. And so here we have a sample of what we call one of the Academy employees, Dr. Arnold employee. But one of the important things is to have a completed volunteer profile. Make sure your volunteer bio, your recent professional and volunteer experience are up to date. Having a complete and accurate profile is crucial to the success of your selection. Uh, so as you can see, there are sections here on your bio, your certifications, your specialty, and then you can also see listed if you have applied or have another opportunity will show up on your profile as well. There's also a button that shows that if you'd like to receive notifications throughout the year on opportunities become available, you can also enable that. And so here you see the list of volunteer opportunities with a sample of a 2025 committee member opportunity. The listing will go live on February 9th, so you'll be able to see the full listing, but wanted to show you a sample of what that would look like for the Academy. Just also note there will be opportunities for the AASM Foundation as well. So here you see a sample of the 2025-2026 term um, me- practice management presidential committee member uh, opportunity. There is a listing again of the description of the role. What's important to note is the current meeting call, uh, virtual call days are included. In this particular instance, this was a new committee, date had not been established, so the committee members would have been polled, but you will see that date. That's important as you apply to ensure that you're available since member committee meeting attendance is important. Um, you may plot for as many opportunities as you would like, um, but we're asking that you rank your choice if it's more than one. That is important to its understanding your interest level by committee, because volunteers will be selected for only one committee to ensure as many volunteers as possible can participate. So I've pulled a sample interest statement to give you a sense of how to include expertise as it relates to the goals of the committee, showing your passion and interest in the committee and the mandates, and any insights that would not be obvious in your CV because quite a few of you have quite lengthy CVs. So this is a way for you to highlight areas that you would be of interest uh, to pull from your CV to bring out here. For example, if it was a publication related to topics or curriculum that you developed that would be related to topics as examples. And we have another story to share that provides insights in how you might want to consider creating your interest statement.
I'm Heidi Marius, nurse practitioner at the Stony Brook Sleep Disorder Center, and I have the privilege to share with you my volunteer experience at the American Academy of Sleep Medicine. One thing that I greatly value is being able to be a part of a greater community that is helping to elevate the health of every population possible. And being able to collaborate with other sleep professionals at the American Academy of Sleep Medicine has done that and so much more. It's so important that we all maintain connection in practice, to share our different experiences, our different beliefs when it comes to patient care and what it is that we're doing. Because when we're able to do that, we're able to move sleep health forward in a more consistent manner. And being able to volunteer on the various ways that I have has been quite beneficial in that aspect. I have also experienced career growth outside of being able to put it on my resume and being considered for more positions or to do more. My critical thinking has certainly been elevated. I again express being able to talk with, discuss with, to reason out why it is that we make certain recommendations or we practice in a certain manner has helped me to see what I do in a more critical manner. And lastly, the social benefits are just so great to know that you have someone, a partner, or people who are going through what you're going through, maybe have the same experience, and to help with encourage you or to help develop you even more has just been so unbelievably valuable. And really, words can't express how important that is as a person, as a practitioner, in our goals to provide the best quality of care that we can. So, thank you, American Academy of Sleep Medicine, for this volunteer opportunity. Looking forward to doing more and to helping really just provide as much care and as best quality care as I can to our populations in sleep. Thank you. I'm
So again, some thoughts around forming your interest statement. We'll now move more specifically into the application. There are 5 steps noted here. to filling out the application. Step one is around the personal information. This helps give context to your volunteer experience. We are also, when being reviewed, want to offer new opportunities to members who have not had experiences. So that's important that we have that background. Then we move to step two, and that's around your committee and personal interest, uh, sharing again your level of experience as it relates to this particular opportunity. And then, as I've mentioned before, your personal interest statement. Again, once you apply, your information is been saved, so you can, as you go into each opportunity, can update the interest statement for each application, but you will be pre-populated for what you've submitted and for a prior opportunity. So go through that section. But one area that is again noted is the priority ranking. And so it's important to include that if you have multiple applications submitted. But a new area is, are you interested in being an ASM strategic ambassador, which aligns with the strategic plan and how you might have an opportunity throughout the year if you will, an ad hoc volunteer to be able to participate from advocacy, emerging technology, membership and education, social media. And then a critical part of from a governance standpoint is step three is reviewing the conflict of interest policy. All volunteers are required to review and submit disclosures. And so this is the first step in you being aware of what those are so they can be recognized, because some committees have a threshold of disclosure and recusal that you would find in that policy. And then step four would be uploading your personal document, so CV or resume, and then finally submission of your application. So we'll move into the timeline and tips to give you a highlight of what to expect through the application process from submission to notification. So again, February 9th through the 28th, applications are open. Uh, in March, the ASM Board Committee on Committees will evaluate all applications and submit their recommendations to the board for approval for the April board meeting. After their approval, all applicants will be notified of the decision. You'll get email as well as notifications through the Engage site. And then the final step is an acceptance uh, of the appointment and COI submitted. That both those steps need to occur from a volunteer perspective. And then in June, the volunteer first term um, commences uh, and communication with the volunteer group would begin. So common questions. How do I know when the annual call for volunteers is open? Again, watch for Engage, and you'll also receive direct emails from the organization and leadership. How do I get started on the Engage platform? You need to log in to Engage using your ASM credentials. How do I create a standout application? Well, you need to create a specific and detailed interest statement to stand out. And what are the volunteer requirements? Again, attending meetings, because that's when a lot of the collaboration occurs, and follow-up occurs in working on individual tasks, and noted as earlier, being a member. So want to wrap up with tips from two volunteers speaking to um, how to make the best of it, starting with the position that you're going to be involved in some way. And here is the first suggestion from Dr. Hope. As a new volunteer, I would suggest that you practice bringing up one idea in each committee meeting. I think everyone suffers a bit from imposter syndrome at first. But you were selected to be on this particular committee for a reason. Your opinion and your contributions matter. And if you feel more comfortable speaking up, try to get another more quiet member to contribute their input as well. Even the most junior member of the committee could be chair in just a few years. So share your thoughts and experiences. And if you're struggling, talk to your chair, vice chair, board liaison, or ASM staff. We're all here to help you get the most of your volunteer experience. And from Dr. Epen, my experience was changed significantly by engaging with other members regularly. Hearing the stories of others and comparing it to my own experience helped me to feel more comfortable raising questions and considerations that would spark a conversation in meetings. These opportunities to learn from others is happening regularly on the forums, at sleep meetings, and in the webinar Q&As. So with that, I'm going to open up this webinar Q&A. At this time, we'll cover volunteer-related questions. If you haven't done so already, please submit your questions now in the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. I will address them in the order they are received. And looks like questions have been answered along the way, but for those of you who joined later, the session is being recorded, and the link will be shared to anyone who's registered for the session, as well as it'll be on the website. And there's a question on how many different committees will be looking for new volunteers this year. We're at about 13 or 14. And those are standing committees that are part of the annual call. Um, and right now it's about 47 slots. And we get maybe 150 um, 150 applicants. So that's why we said be specific in your interest statements, but it'll be about 47 at this point that will be available. But our goal this year is really to accept all applicants for all opportunities. And for the next question, may I know is scientific publications a requirement? Not at all. It's just particularly if the publications that you've contributed to stands out related to a topic that might be coming under the goals of a particular committee, then it might be a good idea to share, but it's definitely not a priority. Looks like there might be one more question. Um, and so when the question is, are there clear committee goals set for 2025 and 2026? Yes, the board does annually approve the slate of committee mandates and goals, and so and they have preliminary been approved for this year, this upcoming administrative year, and they will be posted with the opportunity, so you'll be able to see those goals. They're generally about the same. They are fine-tuned again, with this new strategic plan and new objectives. But yes, those will be posted with the opportunity by each unique opportunity. So there is still time for one more question. But in the meantime, you can reach me directly again, Jatan Mallet at volunteer@aasm.org. So you don't have to have a specific name. It'll get to me directly. And then on the web, you can go to aasm.org/volunteer to get more details on the committees and the current goals. And you can see the mix of members that are on each of those respective committees, task force, and panels. Or again, if you're ready to set up your profile, update your profile, you can already go on to engage.aasm.org to update your information and come back on February 9th to apply. But again, want to thank all of you for taking the time to participate today and look forward to receiving your application soon.